Hey everybody, this is David Skarika. What a beautiful day. Perfect down here. We're getting, we're starting to cool off a little bit. Like I didn't even have my AC on half the time last night. I'm the kind of person, if I just have a fan on me, I'm pretty good. So, we're getting into mid-October. Should be, knock on wood, roughly the end of hurricane season. I think like the peak of it is about the middle of August, the end of that first week of October, and Milton hit a little later. I guess no, Milton hit like a couple days later. So, but really, I don't even know what that is. Sorry, there's something on the ground there. Looks like some kind of crab. So that we should, So knock on wood, this island here, which from 1992 with Andrew to 2012 with Sandy, that 20-year period, I think there was 6 or 7, I think Francis, Floyd, Irene, Andrew, Michelle, there's a few others too, like basically I think it was 7 to 8 over that 20-year period. So basically every 2 to 3 years. Direct hit. So outside of Andrew, luckily none of them were really much more than Cat 3s. And I can tell you a lot of it's overdone, Problem with Florida is a lot of it's below sea level, swampy, storm surges. There's really a lot of people, it's not global warming or climate change. It's just too many people are living in these areas they really shouldn't be living in. And, like Tampa hadn't been hit for like 100 years. How many people were living in Tampa 100 years ago? I'll go look it up. Probably like 20,000, So it's like, of course the damages and all this stuff is larger now when we have 100 times the people living in these places, right? And like I said, they probably shouldn't be living in these places. Even this little island here, hurricane hit here 100 years ago. And compared to now, it's going to do a lot more damage now. Now there's hotels, there's nice houses, etc. But anyhow, hopefully, like I said, Sandy was one that was the only one I was in my house for. Irene hit a few months before I moved into it, and it was a Cat 3. And Sandy happened around. It was a weird hurricane because it happened around Halloween, so they can still happen. But usually, once you get into this latter part of October, it's over. And like I said, it starts cooling down a bit. So it comes. My favorite month in the Bahamas, and the month I really try to not travel, is November. Because November is the transition from this summer type weather to the winter type weather. Now in the winter we can get cold fronts. It can get down in the 60s and 50s. That may not sound cold, but when that's associated with a 30-mile-per-hour wind, coming off the Atlantic here, it feels a lot colder than that, So, and of course down here we don't have heating in our houses, because why would you have heating? Like, you have maybe 1 or 2 week total worth of days of that, it's not worth doing, right? So, anyhow, yeah, this is beautiful. The water's a perfect temperature. So, I didn't come down here the last few days because Sunday and Monday it kind of rained. I got this bad knee, so I don't like to walk around. So anyhow, there's some of the talk, I guess, because markets, it tells you how slow markets are. I even did an election video yesterday. Why not, right? On the election charts of the gambling odds of winning. So, I guess what will we talk about today? I guess what we'll talk about today is I'll put the Dow transports up again. I know this is not the sexiest topic in the world. Excuse me. I'm probably gonna come out with this on Thursday, because Wednesday I'm doing my members update. And I said I don't like to do my members updates when sorry, the free updates when I do my members updates. So, just so you know, the members updates usually happen Monday, but because I kind of got a little behind schedule because of my week from hell, that didn't come out till Friday that week. So then I doing it Wednesday this week, and next week I'll get it back up to Monday. So oh, and I also have a trade alert on Wednesday with that. The trade I put in late in the day today, so I couldn't get the alert out quickly, but it's just it's call options in a stock I like, and I don't see anything really changing by tomorrow morning on it. So sitting right at its 50-day moving average. So you look at the transports, they're right at their highs right now. We saw the market, and we still kind of have this sell on the Dow theory, because they have yet to break out. And the Dow, even though it was down a lot today, is kind of the strongest recently, stronger than NASDAQ, S&P, after lagging for a while. And so it's gone up to way up to new highs, and the transports haven't yet. So the question is, when do they finally do it? And you know, of course, the transports are very economically sensitive. You're talking about airlines, railroad companies, you know, stocks like FedEx and UPS, you know, the kind of mailing shipping companies. And yeah, of course, if those goods and services are moving, yeah, it means UPS and FedEx mean more people are buying stuff off Amazon or online shopping, so they have more disposable income. You know, obviously airlines mean more people are traveling. So those are, you know, cruise ships mean more people are going on cruises, you know. So, although I still think that's a dead industry, even though some of those stocks have come back. Like, maybe I'll put a couple charts of one of the cruise ships here too, because like living on top of the cruise ships, I'll tell you, the top of the hill, I see them all coming. So the cruise ships come over here, they come on the Atlantic, and they have to go around. Actually, this is the island they go around, Eleuthera, and they actually have Disney set up a cruise port down in the south part of this island, something called Lighthouse Point. There was a lot of opposition because it's a beautiful, tranquil, kind of like natural beach. But my friend did go down there, and he says it's really nice. So I might have to go down there. Actually, believe it or not, he says there's like a $10 all-day buffet. Can you believe that, from Disney? You know, maybe because, you know, this is kind of an isolated place, you know, and they're not going to get too many locals coming, so they're giving us a good deal for once. You know what the price of Disney World is like. But anyhow, you see those ships come around, and in the high season, meaning like around Christmas time, New Year's, spring break, I would see like 3-4 ships coming at a time, you know, from you know, during the high season. Now I even see one every couple of days. So I still think that's kind of an industry that's kind of because of COVID. Of course, those things were just basically COVID factories, right? Like when you were stuck in a cruise ship with hundreds or thousands of other people, COVID spread like wildfire, right? So, and there's so many people I know that go on those cruises and come home sick or something. The same thing, the flu, you know, some kind of flu bug's on there, and it just hops around. They're like germ factories, those things. So I've never had any interest in cruises myself, because when I go to a place, I like to explore it. I like to go to little local spots. You know, cruise ships here in the Caribbean, they just stop the downtown somewhere. Like here, they're going to stop at this, like that's a 2-hour drive from here. So no one's going to see this beach or this part of the island who goes on the cruise. You're just going to go to the little Disney spot, right? And spend your money there on drinks and food or whatever, you know? So, never been a fan of those things. Anyhow, yeah, I think that's an industry that's kind of never going to reach its pre-COVID peaks. Who knows, maybe? You know, a lot of people thought that with airlines after 9/11, terrorism, all the new strict travel rules that came in at the time, you know, because, you know, I remember, because I didn't travel a lot before 9/11 because I was still young. I was in my early 20s when 9/11 happened. I was 22 going on 23. So, but I do remember traveling being a lot easier when I was in my teens and early 20s. So, and it has come back, so who knows, right? You know? Yeah, the Dow transports, like I said, have yet to break out. Kind of not yet confirmed. So let's see if that finally happens. They're beating their head on it. And like I've said, though, because of how overvalued the market is, I do think like everyone thinks the same thing's going to happen. Everyone, for a few years after 2008, was worried about 2008. Even now the market crashes, they're worried about 2008. Maybe the market will fall like 2000 to 2002, like in a slow way, and not decimate everything at once, right? You know, like a lot of people I know have been worried about the gold stocks, is what happened to them in 2008. But as I've noted over and over again, they're more like they were in 2000 and 2001. They're cheap. They're not expensive like they were in 2007, right? So not everything's going to be exactly the same. And everyone now, what I'm trying to equate this to is thinks that the market could have a multi-year run, which is what happened in 2016, 2017 under Trump. But interest rates, debt, all this stuff was a lot lower then. And, you know, we were still kind of earlier in the cycle post 2008. You know, prices were more depressed in real estate and other assets. So maybe what we do is we get this big run up into his nomination. And like I said, the betting on looks like he's going to win. And then maybe you kind of sell the news, you know. And that kind of happened in 1968, happened in 1972, happened in 1980, you know, where these things were all followed by 12 to 24 month declines in the stock market. So anyhow, I'll leave it at that. But of course, if the transports broke out and confirmed the industrials, you would just have to kind of like say the trend is your friend. Don't fight the tape until there's some kind of talk. Okay, this is 11 minutes. That's long enough for this. I guess I went a little longer because it is just such a beautiful day here. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.